Arsenal won, Bournemouth 2 at the Emirates. Bournemouth only become the second side after United this season to beat Arsenal at home. And honestly, the title race has been blown wide open yet again. Now, here's my main issue with this Arsenal side, and this has got nothing to do with their fans or with the fact that they've not been winning. They've been bottling yet another season. The main issue seems to be that their football is extremely lackluster. They've not looked in control of a football game for a long time now. And while set pieces were working for them for a large part of the initial part of the season, it has just suddenly stopped happening. 3 defeats in their last 4 games, 2 of which were in extremely critical games, combined with the whole knowledge of Arteta's disastrous April record. All of it just seems to be unraveling. It just seems to be falling apart at the exact moment they need to hold their own. They need to come in clutch. Pep Guardiola's win rate in April, when he has to come clutch, when he needs to get those W's, it is his highest across any other month. 78%, which is massive. Arteta honestly just needs like a 60-70% himself, but he has a 44% win rate, which is crazy. It's literally his lowest, which is exactly the definition of bottling. When you need to come clutch, when you need those wins the most towards the end of the season to basically cement the success that you've been vying for the rest of the season, it doesn't happen for them. And honestly, even today's game, they had like an open play XG of 0.19. Kai Havertz had 2 brilliant chances from Declan Rice corners from inside the 6-yard box to basically just put something on target and score. A combined XG of over 1. Again, both of it from set pieces. And if that is not happening, I mean, obviously you can have an off day from set pieces, which is fine. Where is the open play creation? Where is the creativity on that left-hand side from Martinelli, who played, by the way, like a good 45-50 minutes and had absolutely nothing to show for it? Trossard, who came on again, no creativity, barely anything on the ball. Eze, for one, has been quite good when it comes to scoring stunners, controlling the game in the center much better than like at least what I've seen from Odegaard for this season. But again, in the little bit of time that he had on the pitch, nothing serious that could actually create any threats for the opposition. Gyökeres is extremely wasteful. He did have a chance or two, half chances perhaps in the box, but again, the way he's been playing this season, he's been extremely wasteful. Nothing that came off it. Kai Havertz has been out for a long time. He's obviously scored those 2 brilliant goals, 2 critical goals for Arsenal in the Champions League right at the end. But here, when it matters most in the Premier League again, he has failed to deliver. 2 brilliant chances from corners, both of them fumbled. Noni Madueke, to his credit, does try to take on defenders, does try to put those dribbles past them, but to no good avail even today. Declan Rice was not at his best. He has been extremely impressive for Arsenal. He has been good. But again, if the rest of the team does not support you, there's not a lot that he can do. He did have one decent driving shot on target, which definitely troubled the keeper. But Petrovic had an answer for that. And honestly, that is, again, not an avenue that you can rely consistently on for goals. For Manchester City, when Haaland had been off, I feel like they had a similar spell where they were scoring barely a goal or two. The way Madrid undid them in both the legs was honestly quite shocking and raised a lot of questions. But with their new signings, with Semenyo coming in, with Haaland again hopefully back in form, with Nico O'Reilly chipping in as well, they feel like they have answers. Turkey has been that creative avenue which Arsenal have so desperately lacked, and that has led to their entire football being pretty much boring. Like I said, as a neutral, it just doesn't make sense for you to sit down and watch an entire Arsenal game, which is probably the most troubling part for them. I firmly believed it was done. I honestly did not think that City have it in them this season to catch up to Arsenal. Arsenal were winning. Arsenal were not dropping points until 3 games ago. Now suddenly, from having lost just 3 games in the first 45, 46 games of the season, they've lost 3 in the last 4. The one win that they got was honestly one of the biggest ones they could have hoped for, because Sporting away was a big result. They now have one foot in the door and they've almost cemented themselves in the Champions League semi-final. But the cost of that has been a League Cup final defeat to City in devastating fashion, a defeat to Southampton to knock them out of the FA Cup. The quadruple has basically been brought down to a double. But the league, the Premier League, was their primary hope of success, and they have just dropped points against a Bournemouth side that, to their credit, were undefeated in 11 games. They have been in good touch. The Premier League has been away for a couple of weeks due to the international break, other fixtures happening. Arsenal had to win this, and they have fumbled it yet again. The Bottlers, I honestly don't like that word too much, but the records, the numbers speak for themselves. But I also feel for them because while their lead is still 9 points, which is quite, honestly, it's quite significant, City has 2 games over them, and if City wins both of their games across the coming double game week, the lead is down to 3 points. Those 3 points are again in Manchester City's hands because they will host Arsenal. That fixture still remains. If they manage to beat Arsenal yet again, the lead is gone. it's suddenly evaporated out of nowhere. They'll be on par with Arsenal. They'll have the momentum over Arsenal, having already beaten them once in the League Cup final, having been winning games of late. And honestly, the league, if anything, will be City's to lose after that. And as an Arsenal fan, you've probably got. I'm no Arsenal fan, but if you're an Arsenal fan, you've probably got to wonder, how do you find yourself in this position yet again? Could Manchester City actually do the unthinkable? Could Pep Guardiola trump his apprentice for a third time out of three? When he was second, he was not expected to do it. Could he clinch it at the death? It remains to be seen tomorrow after the City Chelsea game as to where things stand. But for now, Arsenal are ahead by 9 points, essentially three if you discount the two games that City has in hand, and the title race has been blown wide open.